Hey, it's been a while since I've made a video, but I'm back with a big dose of inspiration from an amazing artist. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Stephanie Menji, and I'm an art business mentor that helps emerging artists start and grow their creative empires. Today you're going to meet Diana Contreras. She's a Miami-based Peruvian artist that's known for her awesome portraits and murals of beautiful, strong women. Her work is influenced by classical paintings, her whimsical art style, and the urban look of street art. She has collaborated with companies like Red Bull, Ulta Beauty, DC Films, and even Converse, and many more. You can find her work all over the world and in tons of cities around the US. I'm so excited to introduce you to Diana because she's such an inspiring woman. She balances life as a mom, artist, and teacher flawlessly. And can you believe she even painted murals while she was pregnant? That's just crazy. She has shown me and her followers that you can achieve your artistic dreams even while raising a family. I hope you find her story inspiring. So without further ado, I present to you Diana Contreras.
Wow. Well, I went to school at FIU for art, and when I was in FIU, I got exposed to all kinds of art. But I always wanted to do like my little characters. They were like, that is not art. They were like, it's more illustrative, but at that time they weren't teaching that at FIU. I met an artist, Julia Rivera, who she was working in Miami, and she was a full-time artist that was just like living her dream, and I wanted to be like her. So she really helped me, she really mentored me and showed me that you could do like your own thing. You don't have to just have a gallery represent you. You don't have to do it the traditional way, but do kind of like, be your own boss. And she's still helping me today. I remember the first thing that like shook me was because in school, you're given assignments, like we're doing this, we're doing that, you have to use these materials. But she was like, paint whatever you want. And I was like very confused, like what? Like what do I, So her telling me I can do whatever I want, use whatever material, do whatever I want, kind of like brought me back to my old these little characters that I used to draw since I was a little girl. So that's when I kind of like started to develop my own style. So that really helped me. She gave me that freedom, that she allowed me to discover my own style again, which was like bringing back these little characters always been in my mind and just evolving them. I was super inspired when I would drive around Winwood to see these gigantic murals. It wasn't just graffiti anymore. It was fine art on big walls, and I never thought I could do that. I was always wondering, how did they do that? Like, that's crazy. But really pushing me were graffiti writers, like Atomic. He's one of the people that was like, what you do, you should do on the wall. And Atomic and Quake, like they gave me my first wall in Winwood to practice on. So that's how I started, like small walls, and then I did a big wall by Joey's restaurant in Woodwood. I named her Sophia Rose. She was 15 feet. And once I did that one, it was super just like addicting. Like I like getting a tattoo. Like I just wanted to do like bigger and bigger, so it's so much fun to be outside and to challenge yourself. And in the end, when you see that massive artwork, it just makes me so happy. When you become a mom, you have other priorities and you have less time, and a lot of women especially stop doing their dreams. But definitely what's helped me is that time management, and I make fake deadlines for myself. I make a deadline like, I have to finish this by this time, I have to do these paintings by that time, I have to feed my child at this time. If it's new to you, you can start small, like 15 minutes, focus on this, take a little break, 5 minutes, and then do another 15 minutes. So just builds up. So where you can like focus on a project and finish it. In the beginning, it was so hard for me to finish anything. I had so many unfinished paintings because I love to start on a new idea, and I hated like when you're on the same thing and it's taking forever to finish. But making those deadlines really, really helped. With the Suicide Squad, I was very pregnant. I was 6 months pregnant But I did this mural with Amanda Valdez, and we worked with the Suicide Squad people, and we got to meet the Will Smith and all the Margot Robbie and the actors, and that was really, really fun and unexpected. We got to walk the red carpet and we were treated like stars.
That's so cool.
It was so cool because we were not expecting that at all. So that was amazing, and Instagram posted it themselves, so we got like so much more than we had imagined. There were people that the people that we worked with, they really came through, because a lot of people will give you these, like, I guess, like, false hopes, like, oh, you're gonna get all this exposure and you're gonna get this, you know. But these people, they really, like, they paid. The money was awesome, the exposure was there, like, they treated us great, they trusted us with our ideas and our design. It was very easy, everything got approved, like, super. It was amazing working with them, really fun, and I really loved that mural. And with the Apple was just crazy because I had never done anything digital, and that like I said, I love challenges, so I got an iPad, I started to practice, and we won that battle, and now I love technology. I had a lot of artwork and no one would give me that opportunity, you know, so I figured I took like a year of networking. I planned and I dedicated this whole year. I'm just gonna focus on networking. I'm gonna be at every show, every talk. I'm gonna speak everywhere and try to meet as many people as I can. And even though, like, I'm so shy and it was very uncomfortable, you know, I probably, if I wasn't as shy, I probably maybe would have done it faster, I don't know. But so that's why I said a year. And so yeah, so we go to these things and running into the same people over and over. Like, they started to be like, oh, so what do you do, you know? And I'm like, oh, I'm an artist. And I'm like, oh, you know, want to be in the show? And like, they wouldn't even see my art, they just wanted me to be in the shows because, like, they liked me and they would see me supporting them, or, you know. So that's how, like, I first started getting into, like, the art community, started meeting people, and then I see that they support each other. So that's how I started building those relationships, and doing a lot of things for exposure, doing my own things, paying my own money to do murals, to do projects, to submit my artwork. Just try any time there was a show, I'll submit my work, just trying, like, any avenue to see, like, what would, like, click. And I think through the years, people have got to know me, see, like, my work ethic, that I am punctual, that I mean what I say, that I do, like, if whatever thing that I'm involved in, I always, like, do my best. I think that also that reputation really has, like, opened more doors. People, like, spread the word about you. Now, like, I don't do anything for free, and then I'm like, oh, like, why are they doing things for free? But it's like, that's, no one would give me a chance, you know. No one would, you know. No one cared, you know. So that was my only way to get people to, like, notice, you know, like, paying my own way. And I've paid before to be, like, in art shows, which now I'm like, you shouldn't do that, you know. There's a lot of things that I had to learn. You know, they don't teach you these things in school, so I kind of had to, like, learn from my mistakes. And, like, I would paint outside, you know. Like, I see artists still today, like, painting outside of, like, in Wynwood on the streets, that would have, like, little like, table with, like, my little art. So, like, anything just to, like, get out there. And so finally, like, I was given that chance, because I tried, and that was what worked for me. If you can get paid since you start, that's amazing, do it, you know. But that was the only chance that that's how I was able to get where I am. Nobody would give me that chance. But I think, like, the balance would be, you can do a few things that aren't, like, that you're not gonna be doing, like, a lot of money or a lot of time, but do some things that I think it's nice, especially, like, maybe for charity. You can donate, like, artworks, you can do some things for a good cause. But big companies, they have the buddy, you know. So so you could definitely get paid, and all artists should get paid for all their work, whether they're new or, you know. But I think, like, that balance would be that maybe, like, for charities, do some things to get exposure, and then for big companies that are going to get a profit definitely charge them. And if we all stick together, they have to pay us. I think the biggest company I worked with was for Suicide Squad, and I thought that they would be more like harder. But the original idea was to make only the female, all the female characters, because that's, you know, what I paint. So they just were just like, oh, can you just add the actors that are gonna be that they loved the idea, they loved the style, everything. So it was super. It went through like a lot of people like really fast, and I got approved really fast, and we were like super surprised. So every company that has hired me like has liked what I do and has let me do what I do. And even we did murals here in Little Havana with Beck's Beer, and they were like that. They just do whatever you want. You don't have to even put our logo, nothing. They were just sponsoring the murals. Well, for a long time I didn't think that I had a style. Because I studied fine art, and I studied like the masters, and I could imitate like anybody. So I thought like, oh, I don't have a style. Like if you look at my work at home, I have like landscapes, and I have super realistic portraits, and I for a long time I didn't know. When I started to like discover it, I described it to them as classical portraiture with a combination of urban, some urban into it. Social media was a game changer. Like I said, I'm super shy, so like Facebook was the first thing that I started posting my art on Facebook, and people started like sharing it, and like then writing to me like, oh, like this for sale, can I buy this? So that really just was amazing to me, because I had to do very little talking. I just put a picture, maybe put like a little title, and then it would just start getting like, it would move around. And I got Instagram. I wish I would have gotten it sooner, but I got Instagram because when I did a mural, and when people started posting it on Instagram, and it was shared, and had like 26,000 likes in like a day in this one thing, and I'm like, man, why don't I have Instagram? Get to know your local art community, like the networking, super important. Build those relationships, get that networking where you are. With social media, make sure that you are constantly like posting something, whether it's in progress or a new piece. And also that motivates me to always create too, because I'm like, oh, I need to like do something, I need to post something. So it pushes me to create. And when you do, like, be authentic. People want to know like all of you, not just like your art, but like I think people like that insider. They feel like that's like a way to get to know their favorite artist. So being authentic, and which I feel like I have to do more of, like write a little bit more. I think people love that. People love to follow artists that are authentic. I do. I like to read like everything, like, oh my god, they're sick, like like I want to know everything about it. And I need to take that advice from me more, but definitely be authentic on Instagram. So also when people try to like make me an influencer, or like, oh, can you sell this product, like I really like, I'm super picky. I've only done it one time because I don't want to be a commercial to sell things. I really want to be where people can come and get to know my art and get to know me. So I'm cautious of that, and I'm careful, not to push away audience from being like too commercial. And the most important thing is just make great art. Just keep like producing and making great art and developing your style and evolving, and that's very important. I always give it my all, whether it's something like I'm doing for free for a charity, whether it's like an unknown thing or like a big time name. Like every single thing, I always try to be like very professional, and just do my best work. Always try to push myself. That's how like I think that I've been able to stand out, especially when I'm around artists that I admire and that are like amazing. Like I never want to be the worst artist in the lineup, so I always like try to always go above and beyond, even if even if I have to invest a little bit of my own money just to like make my art look really, really good. Like I'll do it, and it always pays off. It always does. So I think that's what's helped me, just be professional, be on time, keep your word, and make great art. I think to make the industry better, I would love like a union, like an artist union. I love the idea of like like the artist collectives and just being a strong like community, just to help that helps everybody out. When I first came into like the art scene, I did the big mural, and I had kind of like a falling out with the owner, and she wanted to cover the mural right away out of like anger and pettiness. She didn't like me, so she wanted to get rid of the art, and it was like, yeah, I know, and everybody loved it. That was like my big famous one that people still talk about, Sophia. And I heard that from artists, because I was new. I didn't know anybody in the art community. I did that mural like by myself. Like I was up, you know, I didn't know any other artist friends. I didn't know people in Wynwood. So people started contacting me like, hey, this lady wants to go over your mural, but I told her that no, like I'm not. She wanted me to paint over it, but I told her like, no, I'm not going to. And that started happening with other artists. Like other artists started. She was reaching out to everybody she knew to try to like paint over it, and they're all telling her no. And this one artist told me, oh, I told her that I will do it just to buy you time, because we wanted it to be up for Basel. So we wanted the mural to like stay up so that in Basel we would take pictures and, you know, get more exposure. And so he's like, I'll stall for you. So he's like, oh, I'll tell her like, yeah, I'm gonna come this day, and then he wouldn't come, you know. So that was beautiful to me, like that support. And I wasn't known at all. No, I didn't know these people either. Like I didn't know them, and they were like protecting my art, and that support and love for each other. Like that was like super beautiful. Fear, I hate fear, because I was so afraid of everything, and that would stop me, you know, from literally like your whole life, you know, like from doing anything. And I just started doing things scared. Like I did it anyways, you know. The more scared I was of something, the more I was like, I have to do this, because I hate being scared. I don't want to be afraid anymore. And that changed my life. I started saying yes to like, so I tried like saying yes to everything. I used to say no, and I was scared, and I didn't talk to anybody. And I started like saying yes and doing things that I was scared. The more scared I was, the more I would do it. And that changed my life, you know. Once I started, you know, I did art, which is like, I think my purpose, you know, and then that's opened doors to like everything, you know, my husband, my family, like it just not being, just saying no to fear and doing it scared just completely changed my whole entire life, not just art. So that is my best advice.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming.
This was an amazing insight into your career and just what artists can do to become better. So thank you for all of that.
Thank you for coming.
Isn't Diana amazing? If you loved her work and her story, make sure to follow her on Instagram at Didi Rock. And if you're an artist that wants to get raving fans like the ones Diana has, make sure to download my free social media guide linked in the description. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching!